How are you this evening? If you're excited to be here, tell me where you're watching me from and what you do. Welcome to the Elevate Your Diction webinar. I'd like to read from you. Tell me where you're watching me from and what you do. Good evening, Stella, good evening, Tessie, good evening, Abu Bakar, good evening. Where are you watching me from and what do you do? Christopher, good evening. Elizabeth, where are you watching me from? What do you do? Okoli, good evening. Marianne, Adenokbo, how are you today? So let me know where you're watching me from and what you do. Okay, Elizabeth is into teaching and she's from Lagos, Nigeria. Good evening, Elizabeth. Good evening. Tell me where you're watching me from and tell me what you do. What do you do and where are you watching me from? My name is Olubukola RB Agbalaya. And before we dive in, let me ask you something. Have you ever been asked to repeat yourself multiple times in conversations? Or have you ever felt embarrassed when people couldn't understand your pronunciations? Or maybe you've watched opportunities slip away because you couldn't articulate clearly. Or you have seen others with perfect speech get promotions and opportunities you deserve. I get it because I have been there. For years, I struggled with my speech and I tried everything the expert recommended. I watched several YouTube videos. I recorded myself speaking for hours. I spent thousands of naira on voice coaches that I had to drain my bank account just to pay for expensive trainings. But then I was approaching it all wrong because I was focusing on the symptoms, not the root causes of poor diction. So after doing this for years, I discovered something that changed everything. First, I discovered that great diction isn't about changing your voice. It's not about sounding fake or being another person. Instead, great diction is about clarity and correctness. I hope you know that every language has its diction. Every language has its diction. So whether you're speaking French, Yoruba, or whatever language, when you speak that language, it is either people say, oh, this person speaks well, that is when you have good diction, or they feel like, oh, you don't speak well, and that means you have poor diction. So to have great diction, it's about speaking clearly, such that people can easily understand you without repeating yourself over and over again, and correctly, making sure that your words are well pronounced. Now, there is also a simple step-by-step formula that transforms speech patterns. Now, this formula is usually not being exposed because, of course, that is what speech therapists, among other communication experts, use to help you get results. And of course, I realized that you don't need expensive coaches. Instead, you need the right system. Of course, I discovered this the hard way, but you would get it the easy way tonight. Now, here is what a lot of people do instead. Just like I did years ago, you start to watch random YouTube videos, hoping that you get results. What that does is you get confused. There are different types of Englishes. We have the British English, American English, Australian English, among other types of Englishes. And we have all of these on YouTube. So sometimes when you watch a particular video, the instruction, the word pronunciation is quite different from another video. Teaching the same set of words, you get confused and you end up not getting results. I also see people record themselves speaking, hoping that they will start to speak better. The truth is, when you listen to yourself, especially as a beginner, you sound awkward even to yourself. But then, if you keep at it, you start to get better. But what happens when you don't even know the right thing to do? You're just recording yourself blindly. It means that nothing changes. And then people would eventually give up, or some people will go further to spend more time on speech therapists. Now, what I would share with you tonight is the easy way that has helped over 3,427 people transform their speech. So, like I said earlier, if you stay until the end, you will be able to access this because this is something that I have used in the past 12 months to help people from different part of the world to achieve impeccable diction without having to practice for hours every day. Now, here is a disclaimer. It's important for you to know that results are not typical. Individual results may vary. So these results are from dedicated students who follow the system precisely. So if you want to get the same result, you have to be dedicated. You have to follow the system precisely. So if you're ready to get that three-step formula that I've been talking about, I'd like you to write "let's go" in the comments. Write "let's go" or type "let's go" in the comments. If you're ready to learn the simple way to becoming a better speaker, right now type "let's go" in the comments. Whether you're on YouTube or you are on Zoom, type "let's go" in the comments. I am waiting. I don't want us to waste so much time tonight. Okay, on Zoom, I can see "let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go." How about on YouTube? Those of you on YouTube, are you also ready? Are you ready to go? Okay, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Interesting. So let us go. I am ready to. So what exactly is that formula I am talking about? The formula is what I tagged Dick Clare. Dick Clare. I must state that this formula is not something you will find on YouTube or on Google or even on any AI site. Dick Clare is a formula that I put together by myself through years of learning, practicing, and experience working with others. So my formula is tagged Dick Clare, and each letter in my Dick Clare formula has 3 steps. It means that the letter D has its meaning, and it has 3 steps that must be taken. The letter I has its meaning, it has its 3 steps. The letter C has its meaning, it has its 3 steps, on and on like that. So each letter in my formula, Dick Clare, has their 3 steps. But tonight, we'll focus on the first letter, which is letter D, and its 3 steps. So the letter D in my formula, Dick Clare, stands for Diction Fundamental. Take note of that word. I didn't say diction fundamental. I said diction fundamental. Now, if you look at the spelling of fundamental, it ends in a L. It ends in A and L. When you have a word that ends in A and L, that is suffix A and L, most times the letter A becomes weak. You do not hear the sound of the letter A. So you should not say fundamental. It is not to al. No, the a sound is weak. So instead you say fundamental, diction fundamental. That is the same thing you have in words like special. The A there becomes weak, so I should not say special. I can also have it in the word hospital. The A is weak, not hospital. I have it in legal, national, and so many other words like that. So let's go back to my formula. Remember, the D in my formula stands for diction fundamental, and it has its 3 steps. So tonight we'll focus on learning the 3 steps. The first step under diction fundamental is clarity collation. The second step is pronunciation rules. And the third step is connected speech pattern. So let's start. Let's get to it. The first step again, clear articulation. Remember what I said diction is at the beginning. It is about pronouncing your words correctly and speaking clearly. So how do you speak clearly in a particular language? To speak clearly in any language, you must understand the sounds that makes up the sounds that make up the words in that language. So when you're trying to learn any language, when you're trying to speak certain languages, especially if the language is not yours, there's a way this sound come out of your mouth that makes your listener understand that, oh, this person is not grounded or has not mastered this language. And there is also a way the sound comes out of your mouth that tells them that, oh, this person has mastered this language, or this person has a great grasp of this language. That is what clear articulation is. Your ability to articulate the sounds that make up the word in a particular language. Now, when we were in nursery and primary school, we were taught A to Z. A to Z are the letters of the language. Unfortunately, when speaking, we do not use the letters of the language. We do not use the letters of English when speaking. We only use the letters of English when writing or spelling. When it comes to speaking, what we use is the sounds of English language. So in English, we have what we call the IPA. This is called IPA. The I there stands for international. The P stands for phonetic. And the A stands for alphabet. International, phonetic, alphabet. So we have what we call the IPA chart. The IPA chart is what you have on your screen right now. On the IPA chart, we have the English sounds. Now, these English sounds are what helps you to have clear articulation. Let me tell you a very short story about one of my clients who lived in Dubai for 2 years. At the moment, he's not in Dubai again. He's now in the USA. So when he was in Dubai, then when he was in UAE, he's a Nigerian. So when he was in UAE, he would always have challenges with a supervisor. A supervisor at work, is an American. So when the supervisor gives him instruction to carry out, of course, he's hearing something else. So he goes ahead to do something else, to do the wrong thing. And by the time he comes back to get feedback, he's talking about something else. So there's usually this controversy, there's usually conflict between him and his supervisor. And one of the things that causes that is, one, he can't even understand what the supervisor is saying. That is because he's not used to the articulation of the Americans, of the American English. And when he is speaking, it would always mispronounce a lot of words. So it was difficult. At a point, they had to resort to writing to each other, to chatting. They can't do voice notes. They can't talk through voice. They had to resort to chatting. And that was when he knew something was wrong and he had to come for help. And all I did was to help him focus on clear articulation. It is when you can clearly articulate the sounds in English. That is when you would be saying A and people would know you're saying A instead of A. One funny thing about English language is the fact that English vowel sounds, just like we have the vowel letter, consonant letter, English vowel sounds are alike. Let's look at these two words. Who can tell me which of them I'm pronouncing? Ship. Which of these two words are now coming in the chat? Chip. Excuse me, ship. Which of them am I pronouncing? Is it SH? Let me even include one more. Ship. Which of these three words did I just pronounce? Is it SHEEP or SHIP or SHAPE? English vowels are alike. Or let's take another word. Let's take another word. Take it. Don't take it. Let's take another word. I have the word walk and work. Which of these two words am I pronouncing? Right? So English vowels are confusing if you do not know them well, if you have not mastered them. I'm waiting. Which of these two words am I pronouncing? I've not got any feedback. Okay, Mercy, thumbs up for you. Sorry, Ify, thumbs up. Mercy, no, that's not the word I pronounced. So you can imagine when you're trying to speak to somebody and you're saying A and they are hearing B, right? Clear articulation. So let's talk about few sounds. We cannot go through all of these sounds because on the IPA chart, like I said, we have the English sounds, and these English sounds are 44 in number. We cannot possibly learn all the 44 sounds tonight. These 44 sounds are divided into vowels and consonants. The vowels are 20, while the consonants are 24. But tonight I'll focus on few sounds that I hear people often struggle with. One of these sounds that I would like to talk about tonight is the L and R sound. L and R sound. L and R sound. In this part of the word, a lot of people struggle with these two sounds. So how do we articulate the L sound? This is the L sound. This is how the L symbol is written. How do we articulate it? L. Watch my mouth. Now, one way to help you improve your articulation is by paying attention to your manner of articulation, how you articulate your words, what your mouth is doing, what your lips is doing, etc. So for me to articulate this sound, the tip of my tongue has to touch the upper part of my teeth this way. Ooh, ooh, ooh. So many times when people want to pronounce words with ooh, especially words ending in ooh, you hear them do things like school. I'm going to school instead of I'm going to school. You hear them say the football is whatever, instead of the football. So when you have words with letter L at the end, if the L is not silent, make sure we can hear the L sound. So it's not football, it is football. It is not school, it is school, among other words. Now let's go to the second sound that people often mispronounce. That is the R sound. So a lot of times when people want to say the R sound, they end up saying the L sound. So what is the difference? For the R sound, your tip, your lip, sorry, your tongue, excuse me, your tongue, the tip of your tongue has to roll backward. Let's try it together. Watch my tongue. I don't know if you can see my tongue. R, I'm rolling my tongue. The tip of my tongue rolls backward, goes this way. Unlike the but the tip of my tongue touches the upper teeth. For the tip of my tongue rolls backward. So if you're here and you usually struggle with the and sound. We can have words like restaurant. So it's not restaurant, 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 restaurant. You can also have the word road, road. So it's not load. You hear people want to say road, they would end up saying load. That is because their manner of articulation is wrong. Once your manner of articulation is wrong, then your words will not be well pronounced. So to pronounce your word well, make sure that your manner of articulation is correct. Okay, so let's try another sound. Aside from the and the sound, there are two other sounds that people do not even know they are not the same. The first is the sound. That is the letter N sound. You can have that word in nurse. A lot of Nigerians will say nurse. In fact, Ghanaians will also say nurse. Nigerians are copying Ghanaians and they will say nurse. Nurse. No. The word is rightly pronounced nurse. 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 When you have letter R after letter U, anytime you have letter R after letter U, letter R would make letter U to start to make a long sound. Uh, uh, this is the symbol for that sound here. To articulate this sound, make sure that your lips and your tongue are in relaxed position. Uh, uh, nurse. So it's not nest, it is nurse. Let's take another example. Another example is noun. And you have now. We have noun and now. Now and now. So noun, there is a n sound at the end of the word. Noun. For now, there is no n sound. So there is a difference between noun and now. Now let's take the second sound. That is the sound. The sound is written this way. This is the sound. Now, in our native languages, the sound does not exist. So a lot of people do not even know this sound exists. Now, when do you have this sound? You have this sound when you have letter G after letter N, or you have letter K after letter N. Remember, the first one is just letter N makes that sound, as a net, as a nine, as a neighbor, etc. But when you have a letter G after a letter N, the letter G influences the letter N to make a different sound. And that sound is How do you articulate that sound? You need the middle tongue, the middle part of your tongue, you need to raise it up, tug in the sound, and make sure the sound isn't coming through your nose. So it's as if you're not saying the G sound. Another way to assume the sound is by carrying something heavy. Try to carry something heavy and you make the sound. Hmm. If you're articulating the sound correctly, you will feel some weight, kind of pressure on your nose. Hmm. It is different from Their manner of articulation and the same. That is the N, G, N, and K sound. When you have just letter N, it sounds The manner of articulation and the same. So let's consider a few word examples. So if I have the word king, so it's not king, it's king, king, not king. There is no good there. It is king. The king lives in the palace. It is not palace. The king lives in the palace. I can also have the word, excuse me. I can also have the word tongue, not tongue. Tongue. Show me your tongue, not show me your tongue. Tongue, your tongue. The G should not be heard. Now let's go to words with and K. I can have bank. For words with and K, the K sound should be heard. Bank. I saw the king in the bank. Excuse me. I saw the king in the bank. Not I saw the king in the bank. I saw the king in the bank. Let's take two more sounds and then we go to my next step. So another two sounds I'd like us to talk about are let's talk about one vowel sound. This sound here. This sound is called the sure sound. Sure sound. When you see words that ends with E and R at the end, words such as teacher, or words ending in O and R at the end, as in pastor. A lot of people articulate the ER sound and the OR sound wrongly. So you hear something like teacher. There's nothing like teacher. It is not teacher. That is because the sound that we have in these two words, the last sound there, is called the sure. This is the sure sound. This is how to write the sure sound, excuse me. This is the short sound again. This is how it is written, sure. So we usually have the sure when we have E and R at the end of a word or O and R at the end of a word. So when you have E and R at the end of a word, it will sound uh, uh, uh. How do you articulate the sound? First, make sure that all speech organs are in relaxed position. Your jaw, your lips, your tongue, make sure they are in relaxed position. Secondly, do not open your lips too much because the sure sound is a closed sound. When we talk about English vowels, there are some vowel sounds that when you want to say them, you need to open your mouth wide enough. There are some of them you need to open your mouth just a bit. Well, there were others that you should not open your mouth at all. So we call them the open sound, the mid sound, and the closed sound. So the sure sound is an example of a closed sound. It means that your mouth should not be wide open. Secondly, make sure your tongue, your lips, and your jaw are in relaxed position. Thirdly, you're not particularly saying anything. Instead, you're trying to make a mumbling sound, a sound that is not very clear. So because of that, we call the sure sound a weak sound or a laser sound. So the sound is rightly articulated. If you watch well, you realize that my vocal cord vibrates. Uh, 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 uh. So henceforth, when I want to pronounce words that end in E and R, I will not open my mouth. I wouldn't say teacher or teacher. No, I would rather say teacher. Teacher. The E and R there is a closed sound. I will not say computer or computer. No, I will say computer. Computer. When I get to the E and R at the end, I will make sure my mouth is closed. Also, I will not say pasta or pasta. I would say pasta. Pasta. Because of the O and R at the end of that word, my mouth should not be opened. So again, when you have ER or OR at the end of words, you'll need to use the sure sound. And to articulate the sure sound, pay attention to your manner of articulation. Make sure your lips, your tongue, your jaw are in relaxed position. Make sure you're not opening your mouth. And of course, you make a mumble sound. Uh, Teacher, pastor, etc. So we have successfully learned 6 sounds out of 44 sounds. So let me quickly go over these sounds again, and we'll go to my second step. So the first is L. Remember, our focus here is a manner of articulation, how to say these sounds. When you don't know how to say them, you might end up saying another sound or saying them wrongly. So you have L. The tip of your tongue should touch the upper part of your teeth. School, football. And we have the sound. The tip of your tongue should roll backward. Restaurant, road. And we have the sound. Nurse. Remember, it's not ness. It is not church. I had talked about when you have letter R after letter U in the middle of a word. Because of the R, the U makes a longer sound. Here is the symbol of that sound. And it is articulated, nurse, church. So it's not church. It's not ness. I saw the ness in the church. That is wrong pronunciation. I saw the nurse in the church. It has a long sound. Noun, now. Excuse me. And then we have the sound. Remember, the sound is different from the sound. The sound is the sound you hear when you have letter G after letter N or letter K after letter N, as in king, tongue, bank. And then the last sound we talked about tonight is the sure sound, the weak, lazy sound. Make sure your mouth isn't opened. Just go, So when you have ER at the end of a word, or you have OR at the end of a word, make sure you are using the sure sound. Teacher, not teacher. Pastor, not pasta, etc. Okay, so that is it about clear articulation. Like I said, there is a lot to learn on the clear articulation, but I cannot possibly go through all of that tonight. So let's quickly go to my second step, which is pronunciation rules. Now, in English language, there are some rules that guide your pronunciations. There are some rules that you must learn to help you pronounce your words correctly. Let me tell you another story. There's also a story of one of my clients who read mass communication. She read mass communication and has always looked forward to working on the news, to reading news and you seeing her face on TV. But one of the things that kept her from not getting that goal being achieved until she met me is what we call the H factor. Some of you might have heard of the H factor before. The H factor, there are 2 types of H factors. We have the H affectation and we have the H there affectation. So the one she suffered from at that time was H affectation. It means that whenever she's speaking, any word that has vowel letters at the beginning, or words that start with vowels, she ended up adding the H sound at the beginning. It was so bad that she could not even introduce herself well. So her name is Alima, and whenever she wants to introduce herself, she say, "My name is Halima, she adds a H at the beginning of her name. And when she spells it, there is no Halima. I hear people say something like Aisha when there is no H. When you spell Aisha, start with the A, there is no H. I've heard teachers say things like Heg, Hi. You had H to words starting with vowels. This is a speech deficient. It is a terrible one. Well, some set of people that when they listen to you and they hear that, it tunes them off. I can remember there's one school I was working with at the time, and there is this parent who enrolled their daughter in a toddler class. And moving forward, she got to the nursery class. So when she started talking, she started speaking better. They realized that she had the H factor. Fortunately, the parent aren't from the western part of Nigeria because it's mostly the western part of Nigeria. That's where they do the H factor thing. So they were like, she didn't get it from the mom, she didn't get it from the dad. So how come? After much back and forth, they realized it was from the teacher. The H factor is just like what's that disease that you can easily pass from one person to another, just like cough. If you're not careful, you can pass it to the people around you, and it's a terrible one. So there are lots of rules under pronunciation rules that you must learn to help you speak well. One of them is the H factor. So let's talk briefly about the H factor, and I'll talk about one more rule, and then we go to the next rule, the next step. Like I said, I don't want to hold you too long tonight. So talking about the H factor, like I said, there are two types of H factors. We have the H affectation. That is when you add the sound of letter H to words starting with vowels. So when you want to say a word like apple, you would end up saying something like apple. When you want to say egg, you end up saying heg. You want to say I, you end up saying hi. That can cause confusion when you're speaking to elite people. So there is no H in apple. Make sure you're not adding the sound of H. How do you do that? How do you add the sound of H? Most times it's something that you're not even conscious of. You don't even know you have it. Just like Alima, she never knew she had it, right? But how do we do it? We do it when we take a deep breath. The letter H sound is a sound that you make when you inhale, when you take in something. That is the sound of H. So when you speak and you pronounce words starting with vowels and you pronounce them, and then you realize that you've added the H sound, it is because you took that deep breath. You inhaled before you said that word. So there are different ways you can avoid it. First is self-consciousness. You have to be super conscious. Henceforth, when you want to pronounce words starting with vowels, listen well. Am I adding the H to it or not? Now, if you realize you're adding the H, the second thing is every time you're now speaking or you're reading, you want to make sure that you're not taking a deep breath. So as you approach words starting with vowels, you might decide to hold your breath to say that word. So if I want to say apple and I don't want to say apple, I don't want to add the H to it. All I need to do is not breathe when I say apple. It won't take less than a second, I guess. Apple. Just don't breathe and say that word. It would help you. Now, the third thing you want to start to do is when you are alone, put together words that start with vowels and pronounce them to yourself. Record yourself pronouncing them. Listen over and over and over again. Be conscious, like I said. Hold your breath, making sure that you didn't say the H sound. And keep doing that when you're alone over and over and over again. The more you do it, the better it becomes. And then it becomes a part of you. So when you speak in public, you can now speak without adding the H. Now, what is the second type of H factor we have? That is HD affectation. And I can say that almost 60% of the population in Africa has HD affectation. Almost all of us suffers HD affectation. What is HD affectation? HD affectation is when we take away the H from words that have H. So, for example, if I want to say the word have, most people will say have without the H. If I want to say the word hospital, most people will say hospital without the H. Should I want to say the word husband, most people will say the word without the H, husband. What happened to the H? The H is there. It is not silent. Pay for you to take out the H without saying it. But in these words, in the word have, hospital, husband, the H there isn't silent. So it is important for me to hear the sound of the H. You must hear the sound of the H. So when you have words starting with vowels, make sure you are not adding the H sound to it. When you have words starting with letter H, ask yourself, is the H silent? If the H is silent, then do not pronounce the H. If the H is not silent, then pronounce the H. It is that simple. So the right way to say apple is making sure that my H is not heard. Apple, egg, I. And for words that have H, I must say the H if the H isn't silent. Have, hospital, husband, etc. Now let's talk about words with silent H. Now sometimes you can have words that when you spell the word, there is letter H there, but when saying the word, the H must not be heard. We call those words silent H. Example of such words, I have hour. A lot of people pronounce this word as ah. I'll spend 2 hours there. There's nothing like 2 hours. I'll spend 2 hours. The H should not be heard, and all you are is pronounced hour. I will spend 2 hours at the market. Hour. Another is air. 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 The H in this word is silent. Air is the heir to the throne, not the heir to the throne. Heir to the throne. Another word is honest. The king is honest. The H in that word is silent, so it's not honest. The H should not be heard. Say honest. And of course, the E in that word sounds A. Honest. It is not honest. There is no nest in that word. It is nest that we have. So there are a lot of words as such where the H have silent letters. So the question will be, how do I know when letter H is silent in words? There is no particular rule to tell us. Of course, there are some rules that talks about when you have G and H, the H can be silent. Or when you have R and H in a word, I can read them, the H can be silent. But when we talk about words where letter H begins the word, there is no particular rule. And I can tell you that there are just few words as such. So you can learn those words, and of course you can have them offhand. I have an ebook that talks about silent letters, words that have silent letter A, silent letter B, silent letter C, until silent letter Z, with examples that I will be giving out to some people for free tonight. Not everyone, please. Some people. So I don't want you to come asking me about the ebook later. Just for few people, not everyone. So talking about pronunciation rules, we have successfully talked about H factor, that is H affectation, making sure H is not affecting words that start with vowels, and H deaffectation, making sure you're not removing H from words that start with H. And secondly, I talked about silent letters. So aside from silent H, we could also have silent letter A, silent letter B, silent letter C. At the beginning of this webinar, I talked about the word Fundamental. Fundamental is an example of a word that has silent letter A. The A before the L in that word is silent. It should not be heard. Fundamental, hospital, legally, musical, specially. Those words ending in A-L-L-Y or A-L, the A there should not be heard because it is silent. We could also have words with silent B. Sometimes when we have letter B after letter M, the letter B becomes silent. Examples of such word, you can have the word comb. It's not comb. Comb your hair. You can have the word climb. It's not climb. Also, sometimes when you have letter T after letter B, as in the word debt, the letter B in this word is silent. Debt. When you owe someone, that's debt. It's not debt. It is not debtor. It's debtor. Debtor. We need to send letters to all debtors. Not we need to send letters to all debtors. Wrong pronunciation. Debtors. So you must also pay attention to silent letters. Let's talk about a few other silent words that people mispronounce, like the word listen. I hear a lot of people pronounce this word as listen. Let's change the sound of the S to a Z. They say listen. That is wrong. The S remains the S. Listen. Listen. I have the word castle. It's not castle. I have the word chocolate. It's not chocolate. Chocolate. The second letter O is silent. The letter E is also silent. Choc, not cho. Cho. Can you see my manner of articulation? Chocolate. I have the word vegetable. It's not vegetable. Vegetable. I have the word comfortable. It's not comfortable. It's comfortable. I hear people say comfortable. Some people say comfortable. No, it's comfortable. Let me identify the silent letters here. So in the first word, listen, the T is silent. Listen. The S remains the S. Castle, the T is silent. Chocolate, the second O is silent. And of course, the last E is silent. Vegetable, the second E is silent. And the last E, of course. And the last word, comfortable, the O and R are silent. Comfortable. And the second E, not comfortable or comfortable. In the word comb, the B is silent. In the word climb, the B is silent. In the word debts, the B is silent as well. Now, please say these words after me. Comb. Watch my manner of articulation and try to do what I'm doing. Comb. Climb. Debt. Listen. Castle. Chocolate. Vegetable. Comfortable. Comb. Climb. Debt. Listen. Castle. Chocolate. Vegetable. Comfortable. Now let's go to the last step under the first letter on my formula Declare. Remember, the first letter is letter D, and letter D stands for Diction Fundamental. Letter D stands for Diction Fundamental, and I said that Diction Fundamental has 3 steps. The first step, again, is clear articulation. The second step, pronunciation rules. And the last step that I'll talk about right now is connected speech. Have you ever watched a movie and it seemed like you could hear what they have said from the beginning of at the beginning of a sentence? You can hear what they are saying in the end of a sentence, but the middle of that sentence, it seemed like there's a word they are saying that you've not heard before. Have you ever witnessed that or experienced that, where you're listening to a sentence The beginning of the sentence and the ending of the sentence is clear, but the middle of the sentence isn't clear. That is because in English, the way we pronounce words when we have them in isolation is different from the way we pronounce them when we have that word in connected speech, when we have it together. There are different ways or there are different techniques that we could use in connected speech, but tonight I'll talk about one of them. And that is what I call, or what is called linking R. This is called linking R. Linking R is what we do when we are speaking in a sentence and we have a word that ends with letter R and the next word starts with a vowel. Let's take examples. The word CAR in standard British English is pronounced car. The letter R at the end of that word is not pronounced. If it was American English, Americans will pronounce the letter R and say car. But British will not pronounce the letter R. British will just say car. But when you have that word in a sentence, so when I have a sentence like this, this kind of sentence. So if I have this same word, CAR, in this sentence, because the next word starts with a vowel, IS. IS starts with a vowel. So because it starts with a vowel, I'm supposed to link the letter R at the end of car to the vowel at the beginning of is. So if I want to read this sentence, the sentence becomes like this. So car and is will come together and I will sound them like one word. So in English, sometimes we can have 3 words put together and we sound it like one word. You can have 4 words, 5 words put together, and you sound them just like one word. That is because some of these words have been linked up. You have linked them somewhere. So they're now acting as one. So instead of me saying, a car is in the park, which of course is correct, but isn't fluent. That's a correct sentence, but it's not fluent. I'm sounding like I just started learning English. If I want to sound fluent, I want to sound rhythmic. English is a rhythmic language. The words are supposed to link so that your voice can go up, down, up, down. So if I want to sound rhythmic, I'm supposed to put these together. So it becomes a car is in the park instead of a car is in the park. A car is A car is a car is in the park instead of a car is in the park. Let's take another example. If I have a sentence like, here is another sentence. The father and mother are sleeping. In the first word, the second word rather, father, it ends in letter R. The next word, and, starts with a vowel. Linking R, I should link these 2 words, father and, instead of the father and, I would say, the father and, the father and. Let's keep reading. Mother. Mother also ends in letter R. The next word, R, starts with a vowel. So I need to link these 2 words also. Mother instead of mother I would say mother. So instead of saying the father and mother are sleeping, which sounds like I'm just learning. It makes me sound rookie. It's not fluent. For me to make the fluent, I have to say that the father and mother are sleeping. The father and mother are sleeping. So if you're not conversant with such English, You might not hear what they're saying. The father and mother are sleeping, and you're like, please come again. You're not clear about what they're saying. So connected speech helps you to speak fluently. Not just that, it also helps you to be able to connect, communicate better with native English speakers. So when someone speaks such English to you, it's easier for you to understand them. That's why some of us, the first time we're speaking to a native English speaker, it seems like work. We can't seem to understand what they're saying. You have to ask them to maybe please come again, repeat yourself, before you can then use, what do they call it? Idea is needed to complete the conversation because they have connected two or three words together to sound like one. And to you, that one sound you're hearing might be something you've not heard before, connected speech. Now, so on the connected speech, we have learned linking her. How does it work? When you have a word that ends with letter R in a sentence, if the next word starts with a vowel, you're expected to link the word that ends with letter R to the one that starts with a vowel. If the next word does not start with a vowel, please do not link them. You can only link if the first word ends with letter R and the next word starts with a vowel. That is the only time you can link. If it doesn't happen that way, please don't link them. Now, still on the connected speech, let's talk about intonation. What is intonation? Intonation is the rise and fall of the tone of your voice when you speak. So when you're speaking English, remember I said that English is rhythmic. It is not a flat language. Our own language, our native languages are flat. So that's why you say something like, my name is Bukola. Put it on the table. Go to your room. You're speaking flat that way. Your voice is flat. And that is wrong in English. When speaking English, your voice or the pitch of your voice should go up, down, up, down. Go to your room. My name is Bukola, etc. Okay, so another thing that could help you to achieve that rhythmic nature of the English language is intonation. So intonation is the rise and fall of the tone of your voice when you speak, especially at the end of sentences. Intonation could be at the beginning, it could be at the middle of a sentence, but for beginners, we tend to focus on the end of sentences. So let's say, for example, you want to make a statement. When you're making a statement, at the end of that statement, it is either the tone of your voice rises or it falls. The tone of yours can rise or it can fall. So the thing is, how do I know when the tone of my voice should rise and when it should fall? It's not like I can just do anyhow. When you try to just sound anyhow, you would sound fake. Have you ever watched Jennifer's Diary? I think that's the name. Where she and Adaku traveled and they returned back to Nigeria and they were trying to form America people and they were speaking English in a very absurd way. All of this, they're just trying to put their voice up, down, up, down, up, down. I see children do that also in schools. You hear them say something like, may I urinate, please? May I use the restroom? Miss Lawal, may I use the rest? That's not diction. Thank God there are teachers here. That is not diction. A lot of schools, what they are doing is not diction. They're just singing. They're sing-songing. Their students are sing-songing. My name is, I am here to talk about, that's not diction. Okay, so let's go back to intonation. So how do you know when your tone should rise and when it should fall at the end of statement? I'll talk briefly about it. Let's talk about rising tone first. When should your tone rise at the end of sentences? Your tone should rise at the end of sentences when you're asking yes or no questions. What is a yes or no question? A yes or no question is a question that you ask excuse me. A yes or no question is a question that when you ask, the reply will be yes or no. For example, if I ask you, are you learning? Your answer will be yes, I am learning, or no, I am not learning. So are you learning is an example of a yes or no question. Another example is, have you eaten today? Have you eaten? You would either tell me, yes, I have eaten, or no, I haven't eaten. So that is an example of a yes or no question. So when you're asking a question, that reply the person would give you is either a yes or a no. At the end of such question, the tone should go up. Have you eaten? Have you eaten? Not have you eaten. It's not eaten, eaten. Have you eaten? Are you happy? Are you learning? Is this understood? Not, is this understood? At the end of that sentence or that question, let your tone go up. Another time that you can use a rising tone is when listing objects. When you're listing objects. So let's take, for example, you're talking about what you love and you say, I love to read, write, sleep, listen to music. Not, I love to read, write, sleep, listen to music. No, you're listing things. Sleep, write, listen to music. Your tone should go up. The names of my best friends are Tammy, Bridget, Christopher. You're listing names of people, not the names of my friends are Bridget, Christopher, Janet. No, you're listing their names. So your tone should go up. The names of my friends are Janet, Bridget, Christopher. Use the rising tone. Now let's really go to the falling tone. There are other times that you should use a rising tone, but I can't cover all of that tonight. So let's just take each briefly. Excuse me. Now the falling tone. When do we use the falling tone? We can use the falling tone when we're asking WH question. What is a WH question? A WH question is a question that starts with WH words. For example, who are you? What is your name? Where have you been? How many times have you seen me today? That question started with how, what, where, when, which. Those are examples of WH words. So when you have words, sentences that start with WH words, you call them WH question. So when you're asking such sentence, you're expected to use a falling tone. What is your name? Where have you been? Not where have you been? Where have you been? Who are you? Not who are you? Who's at the door? Not who is at the door, right? Who's at the door? When are you coming to school today? Not when are you coming to school today? Why are you late to class? Not why are you late to class? ETC. Now, before I proceed, I would love you to quickly go to the WhatsApp group and tell me how this session is going. So before I continue, let's quickly go to the WhatsApp group. Do not leave your Zoom session. If you joined via Zoom, do not leave YouTube if you joined via YouTube. Just minimize your device. Go to the WhatsApp group where you got the link to join. And please let us know how the class is going. A lot of people are joining a wrong class. Somebody is calling the group and it's causing confusion. So quite a number of people are leaving the group feeling like maybe we're just playing with their time. So I'd love you to quickly go to the group and let us know how the class is going. If it is worth your time, if it is worth your data, if you have learned anything new tonight, let us know, please. Let's quickly do that. Like I said, I do not want to hold anyone too long tonight because tomorrow is another work day. So please quickly go to the WhatsApp group, whether you're on YouTube or you're on Zoom, and let know how the class is going. Please don't just write interesting. Make a sentence. The class is interesting. The class is impressive. It makes more sense to those reading than when you just write impressive learning, right? Make a complete sentence. You don't have to write more than one sentence. Just make a complete sentence so it makes more sense to them. Okay, I can see a few feedback. Somebody says the class is fantastic. Thank you. Another said interesting. The other said it is worthwhile. Somebody said impressive. Another person says, I'm enjoying the class. Note that we do not start sentences with am. You can say I am enjoying the class, or I'm enjoying the class, instead of just saying I'm enjoying the class. And that person said great. Somebody said the class is awesome, interesting. Wow, the class is fantastic. The class is interesting. The class has been awesome. I've got value. The class is so amazing. I'm learning a lot already. The class was the time. Okay, this person is just asking what's the time. Well, I said awesome. The class is impressive and interesting. I believe you wanted to write interesting. The class is insightful. The class is interesting and educating. It's fantastic. The class is very revealing. Really enjoying the class and learning a lot. I'm learning deeply. This is impressive. I'm learning a lot. The class is so amazing, blah, blah, blah. Okay, thank you, everyone. Now let's move to question and answer session. If you have questions about what we have taught before I proceed, I would love to take a few questions before I continue. Somebody said, yes, you are right about sync talking. They do that so much with the national pledge. Yes, that is because, should I say that is what they were taught? Children will not, my coach will say that a pupil will not do better than his teacher, except there's another teacher somewhere. So it's because that is what they are taught. So that's why as school owners or as teachers, we must know these things so that we can be sure we are getting the right people to handle these children. So that while we're trying to help them improve, we're not doing more damage, right? So I would say it's because that's what they were taught. Okay. Somebody says you are natural. Thank you. I like to say that's what differentiates me from other diction instructor. I love to be natural. I love that. That's my strength. Okay. Please, how can I make rising and falling intonation perfectly? Because it seems sounding same to me. It seems sounding, I don't understand what you're trying to say there. Okay. Now, when it comes to communication, it is about practicing. There's a saying that goes, the more you do it, the better you become. So first day, second day, it might not make sense to you. Excuse me. It might not make sense to you. It might not even sound nice to your own hearing. It's normal. That is because you have been sounding a certain way for years. I don't know how old you are. Maybe you're 25, 35, 55, or older. I do not know, right? So you've been sounding a certain way for that long. You do not expect that you just change all of a sudden. So you need to be committed to practicing. And that is my strength. I tell people when it comes to communication, when it comes to diction, particularly, learning is the first step. And that's what we're doing now. The next step, which is very important, is practicing. If after tonight you don't do anything with this knowledge, it's gone. You've lost it. That's just the way it is. But if after tonight you see a system that helps you to practice every day, right? Then I can assure you, in another 3 days, in another 7 days, in another 1 week, you will be better. You would even be more comfortable with your voice than you are tonight. So practice, that's just it. Understand what rising and falling intonation is first, then go ahead to practice it. Thanks for the opportunity to ask questions. I'm digressing. Please, should a diction teacher stick to their own scheme of work, even when a school poses theirs? This is quite complicated. When I was working with schools, like when I was in the classroom fully, I still work with schools. I work with premium schools. But at a time where I was like fully in the classroom and working with every school around, this is what I used to do. And let me just talk from my own experience. You can just do what works for you. I do not use one scheme for all my schools. There's some schools that I had at that time. There were schools that I had to put all of them together to learn the basics. So for me, I do not personally, like I'm talking from experience, I do not recommend scheme per se. Rather, if I'm working with a new school, a school that does not have diction foundation, What I do is I teach things that makes the pupils and the school to find diction interesting, such that the children can get back home and showcase what they have learned. So I can start by teaching them common words around them, fruits, how to say the days of the week, words, everyday words their mom or dad mispronounce on the kitchen, on TV, things that would get them talking, would interest them. That is for schools that have not had diction at all. For schools that have been in diction, that they have a strong background in diction, then such schools are schools that I can then use scheme for. I've never worked with a school that imposes their scheme on me. So now, if a school is imposing their scheme on you, you might first want to understand why. Maybe your scheme is not going to work for them. You should also understand that different schools have different structure, different pupils, different situations, and all. It might be that the scheme will not work for them, maybe because of the kind of pupils and parents they have. So you might want to know why. So if the reason is not cogent, then I would recommend that you work with your own scheme. But like I said, it's not a one cap fit all thing. It depends on the situation. Okay, somebody gave me example, pumped. The word pumped, the ed sounds like a t. The word presented, the ed sounds like aid. What makes one a phonics teacher and not a diction teacher? Okay, you can be a diction teacher, not a phonics teacher. You can be a phonics teacher, not a diction teacher. So phonics focuses on reading and writing. Phonics help children to be able to put words together, decode them, and read it as a word. Put sounds together, rather. Decode it and put it as a word. So phonics would help a child to see k, ato, and be able to say it's cat. And then see another word like l, ato, and know it's lat. While diction is what helps that child, as the child is reading, to be able to pronounce those words correctly. So you can see let me say, lots of class teachers now, they have the phonics knowledge. But sometimes when they still teach phonics, they even teach it with the wrong sounds. That is because they do not have the knowledge of diction. So diction is mainly phonetics. Oral English, that's what they used to call it when I was in secondary school. Speech work for some school, depends. So it's mainly pronunciation, how words are pronounced. But when it comes to phonics now, it is with how a child can decode sounds to put as a word, or how a child can decode words and make sentences. So a child can read a fat cat ran, eat a sea. Okay, can you please explain the right pronunciation and use of article a and the? Word pronunciation of a, okay, that word has two pronunciation. The strong pronunciation is a. The weak pronunciation is I don't want to go into talking about what weak or strong form is because I want to quickly continue my lessons. So we have strong form is a. We use strong form for emphasizing. A bag, not a cart. Then we have the weak form, a cat, a bag. It's a C. We use that in connected speech. Now for THE, it has three pronunciations. The weak form is the. We use it for emphasizing. The strong form, rather. The strong form is the. We use it for emphasizing. The girl, not that one. The girl. The girl over there. You're emphasizing the. Excuse me. Now the weak form for THE, we have two of it. First is the. Let me transcribe them. We have the. This is used when you have a consonant after THE. So if I have the sentence, the bag, after THE, the word that I have is bag starts with a consonant. So I want to read this, I would say this pronunciation here, the sure. I talked about the sure earlier. The bag is big. But if I have a sentence like this, THE will be pronounced differently. This time it will be pronounced the. It will be pronounced this way. The egg. So there's a difference between the egg and the bag. So it depends on which one you're pronouncing. Then how to use article A and article the. Okay, we use article A when we're talking about something that is not specific. A bag. It could be any bag in the room. Get me a bag. So if I come to the room and there are 20 bags, I can just get one of it. But if I say, get me the bag, I'm talking about a specific bag. The bag. a bag. So the talks about specific thing, specific object. Or a talks about something that is not specific. Okay, any other question? How does intonation affect meaning? Yes, it does affect meaning because you could say different things. You could say the same thing different ways. For example, let's assume I'm a man and you're a woman, and I come to you and I say, I love you. Another man comes to you and say, I love you. Another one comes and say, I love you. Which one would you trust more? Probably the last man. He might not have good intention, but his intonation might make you fall. So that's why they say things like, it's not about what you say, but how you say what you say. So that simply explains how intonation helps, okay? How can I sound rhythmic and not singing? Even if I break the sentence into phrases. Yes, breaking sentences into phrases is called chunking. So there are ways you could sound rhythmic and not singing. First is be you, be natural. Be you. Do not try to sound like another person. Be you. Second is practice, practice, practice. I cannot overemphasize practicing. Practice, practice, practice. I can go further into talking about intonation because of the time frame. But understand intonation well, then practice. Intonation would help with you not sing-songing. First is before intonation, focus on word stress, intonation, then rhythm, that's sentence stress, very important. These three things would help you to not sound sing-songing. Another is vowel length, the length of vowels. So when you're reading a sentence, you must be able to identify where you have the long vowels or you have the short vowels. Pay attention to them, use them in reading. It also helps you to have that rhythmic nature. Any clarity on the transcription of words with nurse? Is it a transcription you need clarity on the pronunciation? Nurse. The sound is a long vowel sound because it has the two dots. Make sure your tongue's in a relaxed position. Nurse. Okay, I hope I've answered that question. Okay, I think we are good. Please, ma'am, could you say the days of the week in diction? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Now, the D-A-Y there can also sound D, so you can have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. There, the T-U in that word sounded like a CH. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It depends, but the DDD one sounds more like French. Should we always admit that English is complex, especially when it comes to British and American pronunciations, which we usually mix up ignorantly, so to say? Okay, I always like to say that English is illogical. So complex is another word that can go with that. Good. Then being conscious of British and American pronunciation takes consciousness. You have to go further. Yesterday at about, I think it should be today, at about 4 a.m., I couldn't sleep, so I was on YouTube. So I was watching some of my videos. So there's this particular video where I did, do you sound American or British? So I did that video years ago. So I was watching the video and then I will spell the word and I will pronounce. So when I spelled the word aluminium, I pronounced it as aluminium. That is American English. Instead of aluminum, which is British, there's another one, advertisement, American English, instead of advertisement, laboratory, etc. So it's mainly about being conscious. So what I'm trying to say here is, I was the one who did the video at that time. So I was just going through those videos. I was just trying to also go by the video like I was just learning. And out of like 5 words, 2 of them I pronounced American, 3 others I pronounced British. And I was the one who did the video. Like I've forgotten what I did in the video, something like that. So I think it just takes extra effort to be able to stick to being British and American. Yeah. Okay, I think I should proceed now. Okay, I've successfully answered all questions. If you have other questions, feel free to drop it in the comment. I will get back to questions and answers again. Now, I want you to think about what the cost of poor diction has cost you in your life. Is it missed opportunities? Is it missed promotions, lost business opportunities, diminished confidence, or maybe you have suffered social anxiety. What has poor diction cost you? And would you agree with me that the time we have spent together so far is worth it? Like I said, I cannot possibly teach everything tonight, considering the time. So it is important that you know that speaking well is a journey. It's not just something that you wake up one day and you find yourself doing. It's a journey, it takes time. So we cannot possibly cover everything tonight. And while you are taking your time on that journey, you must understand that it is not something you can do alone, which is why I have created a special offer so that you can get everything you need to transform your speech. And if you're at first, I'm going to give you a very special deal tonight. Look, we both know that speech patterns are deeply ingrained. For some of us, we've been speaking a particular way for 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, 18 years, 19 years. And trying to fix them on your own is like seeing the back of your own head without a mirror. I don't even think that is possible. So you need a system, a proven roadmap that has worked for thousands of people. Imagine the feeling when you can speak and people can understand you immediately. Imagine that you can express your brilliant ideas without repeating yourself. Imagine that you feel confident in any speaking situation. My coach will call me small but mighty. I can talk to anyone. I can talk to a whole of millions of people. But I love opportunities like that because it gives me the opportunity to be heard, and opportunities will come flying. My husband will say, just open your mouth. He's finished. So imagine your voice can project authority and clarity. And that is why I am inviting you to join the Diction Mastery Academy. That is where you can become a clear, confident, and eloquent speaker within just 6 weeks. In the Diction Mastery Academy, we would enhance your communication abilities to the point where your words command attention. We will skyrocket your confidence and help elevate your professional image to new heights. In the Academy, we ensure personalized attention and we closely track the progress and transformative journey of each participant, making it a highly sought after opportunity for those eager to join. Every Monday to Saturday, we listen to your voice note, we listen to the assignment we give you, that you submit that voice note, and we give feedback to each assignment. This is not a diction class where we give a general feedback. No, we give feedback to each person's assignment, each person's submission. And that is done Mondays to Saturdays at your convenient time. Whether you're a teacher, you're a student, a civil servant, a trader, a mother, a lecturer, whatever you do, anytime that works for you, early in the morning, late at night, late afternoon, midnight, get to the e-learning platform, take your lesson, take the assignment. All of this takes less than 5 minutes to do. Submit it on the WhatsApp assignment group. We attend to it. We give feedback to your assignment. Now, here's what you would get. You would get access to our e-learning platform. You get access to 55 practical training sessions. You get access to our quizzes for stage knowledge assessment. You get access to 12 live training sessions. These are held on Fridays and on Saturdays at 8 p.m. And the replays are always available. On Fridays, we practice together. On Saturdays, we do question and answers. We review your tasks to make sure that you're the one that have been doing it from Monday to Saturday. And of course, you get access to our private WhatsApp group, plus unlimited personal support from me. Charger. Who has this worked for? This has worked for professionals seeking promotions, not native English speakers, charging people with regional accent, and anyone who's tired of being misunderstood. Now, here's how this works in 4 steps. All you need to do is to register for the 6 weeks academy. Then you log into your membership e-learning platform where you watch the training and complete the quiz in less than 5 minutes at your convenient time every day. And then you jump on live sessions with me on Fridays and on Saturdays at 8 p.m. where you ask questions, I challenge you for review. I give you tasks to do live there. I watch your mouth, I watch your face, and I correct you immediately with love. And also on Saturday, you have access to a breakout room where everyone in the academy will divide them into smaller groups where you can have the opportunity to practice with each other. So for example, if we have like 20 people on the Zoom session, we divide those 20 people into like 5 groups where each group can practice among each other, correct each other with love, and learn from each other. Now I had 2 choices. The first choice was to go cheap as possible and try to sell as many as possible. And of course, this wouldn't incentivize me to really start the value. And the second choice was to require a little higher investment. But of course, in exchange, I devoted more resources to guarantee your success. And of course, I went for the second option. Now, here is feedback from past, past participants. This is Peaceful. Peaceful is from Kenya. She said the class has been an insightful one. What exactly most is how you carry everyone along in the practical session. Your corrections are made with love, and I look forward to learning without being scared of making mistakes. It was 2 weeks in training when I emerged the best speaker in the debate competition. While practicing, I heard your voice in my head, pronouncing those words correctly. This training, blah, 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 blah. She went further. This is her full name. She's from Kenya. You can check her out on social media. And this is another person. Okay, she said that, thank you so much, my able diction queen. You've done excellently noble. I have reviewed you thought us. I'm going a long way with my pronunciation by your help. At this time, I didn't do well on my diction in your last concluded class. I have benefited me a lot. Honestly, I can't afford to lose your class for any reason. I am more than happy. God bless you, ma'am. This is another person. She says, thank you, Coach Bukola Agbalaya, for all you do. Coach Bukola is doing tremendous work, relentlessly in the service of educating who wants to be educated on speaking right. Her videos are self-explanatory, easy to understand. All you need to do is follow her lead. The best thing I like in the trainings is she never leaves hand until you become master. Great follow-ups too, which is a very good virtue of a great teacher. Great to be in the learning journey always with you. I've decided to take a quantum leap as she has given me and still in any of her trainings. Thank you for the wonderful training session on diction training. So there are lots of other feedback. We have video feedback, screenshot says this, voice note, etc. And like I used to say, in the academy right now, we have over 1,700 participants in the academy. And one thing I love about the academy is the fact that after you are done learning, you get lifetime access to the e-learning platform. You get lifetime access to the Zoom replays on Saturdays and on Sundays. And of course, you join our alumni group where you keep learning. Many times when you join a diction class, after some while, the energy, the morale is not there again. But in the Diction Master Academy, it is different. We allow you to keep learning until we are sure that you are a good ambassador of the academy. And aside that, we add you to the alumni group where you keep learning as well. We meet once a month to learn together to make sure that you do not go back to your default setting. And at the end of the academy, you get access to our certificate as well. Now, to join the Diction Master Academy, you need $65, which is about 90,000 naira. That is 1,100 cedis. But because you're still here tonight, you do not even need up to 50% of that amount. Instead, all you need is just 39,999 naira if you're Nigerian, or 420 cedis if you are in Ghana, and that is a whopping 68% off. And of course, that is the general public price. Now, not just that, you would also get a complete refund assurance. This means that if after 6 weeks, after you have gone through the academy, if you do not get results, we would send you your money. The exact money you used in paying for the academy, after 6 weeks, if you go through the academy and you do not get results, we would refund your money. You can do a recording of this part. Again, if you go through the academy, after 6 weeks, you follow through everything I ask you to do, and you do not get results, I will refund your money. I will do a complete refund of how much you have paid. Aside from that, if you pay tonight, if you join the academy tonight, you would get access to all my bonuses. The first bonus contains 20 short pronunciation videos. This would help master tricky sounds, where so that you can start to speak with clarity and confidence. I sell this for 20,000 naira. It is sold for 210 CDs. And this will be given for free to the first 10 people who enroll in the academy tonight. You'll also get access to my vocabulary development PDF. Expand your word power so that you can speak better. A lot of us, when we're speaking, it gets to a point where we do not know what to say again. You know what you want to say, but you don't know the word to use. This vocabulary development PDF would help you. This is sold for 5,000 naira. That is 51 CDs, but you will get it for free if you're one of the first 10 people to enroll tonight. You'll also get my video on how to never be at a loss for word. This video would help you to master the art of impromptu speaking, such that you can effortlessly articulate your thoughts in any situation. The truth is, even the best speakers are at a loss for word at some point. But there are techniques that you could use so that your audience do not know. And this is what I discussed in this video. The video is sold at 10,000 naira. That's 110 CDs if you are in Ghana. And you can get this for free if you're one of the first 10 people to enroll tonight. If all these would do is to transform your speech pattern, so you never had to repeat yourself again, would it be worth it? If this would help you speak with clarity and confidence that commands respect in any room, would it be worth it? If this would help you open doors to opportunities and promotions that have been held back by your speech, would it be worth it? The truth is, if you were to work with me one-to-one, you would be paying me 300,000, and that is about 3,000 Ghana cedis, and that is for 8 sessions. But you're getting more in this comprehensive system. Like I said, in the Diction Master Academy, you learn Mondays to Saturdays. Imagine you're doing the same thing for 6 weeks, Mondays to Saturdays, 6 days a week. What would happen to that thing? Of course, you would improve dramatically. Mondays to Fridays, you learn at any time that works for you, whether early in the morning before you go to work or when you come back from work or later, any time that works for you. Mondays to Saturdays, Mondays to Fridays, you learn on the e-learning platform. And each lesson takes less than 5 minutes. With your assignment, you submit your assignment on the assignment WhatsApp group, where we listen to each person's voice notes and give feedback to each person's voice note. Imagine you're learning and practicing. Remember, like I said, practice is key when it comes to speaking better. And this system have allowed you to not just learn, but practice for 6 weeks. And then on Saturdays and on Friday, we meet on Zoom at 8 p.m., where the recordings are also available for you to keep practicing. Now, if you also pay tonight, you get access to my Know Your Silent Words ebook. I talked about a silent word ebook earlier. I said some people will get it tonight. So if you're one of those that make your payment tonight, you get access to this ebook. It contains all words that have silent letters from silent A to silent Z. Also, you get access to my ebook on English punctuation marks. This would help you to master how to use your punctuation marks and improve your writing. If you make your payment tonight, you'll be one of those who get it tonight. You'd also get access to my 100 common grammatical errors and corrections. This would help to eliminate embarrassing mistakes so that you can start to write and speak with confidence. This is also an ebook that you will get for free. To earn more with your diction skill. This video would help improve your earning potential. Whether you're a teacher, you're a trader, or whatever you do, there's a way you present yourself via your speaking that helps people know that you're worth more. This is what this video entails, and you get it as bonus should you be one of the first 10 people to enroll tonight. So the bonus makes a total of 82,000, that is 931 CDs. But you're getting all of these for free tonight, plus the complete refund assurance. Remember, the complete refund assurance states that if you go through the academy for 6 weeks and you do not get results, I would refund your money. The exact money you have paid, you get it back. So you have nothing to lose. It's like you just saving your money somewhere. After 6 weeks, I don't get results, please give me my money back. Like I said, you can record this part so you have a proof after 6 weeks if you do not get results. Now, the standard cost of the academy is 90,000. That is 1,100 cedis. The bonuses is worth 82,000. That is 931 cedis. But you would get all of it for just 39,999 naira if you're in Nigeria, if you pay tonight, or 420 cedis only. However, I have a special offer for fast action taker. This special offer is just for 10 people. So if you want to be part of these 10 people that will be paying less than 39,999 naira, and you'll be paying less than 420 Ghana cedis, plus you will still get access to all the bonuses that I have promised. And if after 6 weeks you do not get results, you ask for your money and I give you your money back. It means you have nothing to lose. Then I want you to get your bank app ready. This is only for fastest fingers. Once I get 10 people, the fee goes back to 39,999 naira or 420 Ghana cedis. So for the first 10 people right now, instead of paying 39,999 naira, all you have to pay is 20,999 naira. That is about 19,000 off. If you're Nigeria, instead of paying 39,999 naira, I would give 10 people the opportunity to just pay 20,999 naira. So if you're really interested in not just improving how you speak, but also saving more money, and of course you have nothing to lose. If after 6 weeks you do not get results, I will refund your money as promised. The account details is right on the screen. UBA 2069 72 50 16. Olubukola R. Agbalaya. Make your payment right now into that bank account if you're in Nigeria, 20,999 naira, and you get access to the 6 Diction Master Academy, plus you get access to all the bonuses, and of course you get access to the complete refund insurance, which means after 6 weeks, if you do not get results, I will refund your money. If you are in Ghana, instead of paying 420 Ghana cedis, all you have to pay is 270 Ghana cedis. With 270 Ghana cedis, you get access into the academy tonight. You'll also get access to all the bonuses mentioned. And of course, if after 6 weeks you do not get results, I will do a complete refund of your money. Remember, I need just 10 people. After 10 people, the fee goes back to 420 Ghana cedis for Ghanaians, and it goes back to 39,999 naira. So if you're in Ghana, make your payment of 270 Ghana cedis to the account details MTN Momo 05 02 05 40 596356 Chukwebuka Ifesinachi Godwin, or to our Vodafone line 0502328878 on support Chidema. So all you need to do, somebody's asking, how much is it? Diana, if you're making a payment tonight, it's 20,999 naira if you're in Nigeria, and if you're in Ghana, it's 270 Ghana cedis. After tonight, the fee goes back to 39,999 naira if you're in Nigeria, and it goes back to 420 Ghana cedis if you are in Ghana. So the account details is on the screen. The account details will also be sent to the group shortly. So if you'd like to make your payment, quickly do that right now, as the fee goes back to the amount stated. In Nigeria, the fee goes back to 39,999 naira after tonight. And if you're in Ghana, the fee goes back to 420 Ghana cedis. Now you have two choices. Excuse me. Now you have two choices. First choice is to do nothing and not take this leap of faith, which is 100% risk-free. Like I said, if after 6 weeks you do not get results, I would send your money back to you. I would send your money back to you completely. Second option is to make this small investment today, compare it to all the value you will get in return, and just give it a shot. If it works, great. If not, just ask for your money back and you will get it. Like I said, you can record this part so that after 6 weeks, if you don't get results, you can come back asking for your money. Here is the account details again. If you are in Nigeria tonight, all you have to pay is 20,999 naira. Pay into the account details Olubukola R. Agbalaya, UBA 206972506016. Then send your payment proof to the WhatsApp group. Once we get 10 people, the fee goes back to 39,999 naira. Again, in the academy, you learn Mondays to Fridays at your convenient time, any time that works for you. You learn Mondays, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Thursday, Friday for 6 weeks at any time that works for you. And then on Saturday, we meet at 8 p.m. where we practice together. To be sure you're the one practicing during the week, we meet on Zoom where I can see your face and be sure you're the one submitting the task and I am correcting you with love. All you need is 20,999 naira if you pay tonight. After tonight, the fee goes back to 39,999 naira. Plus, you get access to all my bonuses worth 82,000 naira. Also, you would get a complete refund assurance. If after 6 weeks you don't get results, I will refund your money. So here is the account details to pay into again. If you are in Ghana, here is the account details to pay as well. You pay into the MTN Momo line 0540596352 Chuku Ebuka Ifesinachi Godwin. Or you can pay into the Vodafone line 0502328878 on Sopa Chidima. Send your payment to the group as well. So after tonight, the fee goes back to 420 Ghana cedis. Again, here is what you would get. You get access to the e-learning platform where you learn at your convenient time, Mondays to Fridays, anytime that works for you. It takes less than 5 minutes to do. You submit your assignment in the assignment WhatsApp group where we listen to each person's assignment and give feedback. Then, of course, you get access to 55 practical training sessions. Practical sessions. These are not sessions where you just listen to me. I allow you talk. I listen to you talk and I give feedback. You don't just listen to me. I listen to you talk, I allow you talk, and I give feedback. You also get access to quizzes for stage knowledge assessment. That is, every day each person gets assignment. I listen to your assignment and I give feedback, right? And also you get access to 12 live training sessions with interactive engagement. Fridays and on Saturdays, we meet on Zoom where I allow you speak, I allow you talk, and I give feedback as well. We practice different things. We do dialogue, we do reading aloud. I make sure that after 6 weeks, you are not the person who joined the academy. And like I said, after 6 weeks, if you do not get results, I would refund your money. The very good thing about the academy is you have lifetime access to it. Even after 6 weeks, you can keep learning. After 6 weeks, you can keep learning on the e-learning platform. You can keep joining the Zoom sessions. And when you eventually graduate, if you're able to keep up for 6 weeks and you graduate, you join the alumni group where we meet once a week to further learn, once a month, excuse me, to further learn so that we will make sure that you do not go back to your old self, right? You also get unlimited support from the Diction Queen. If you make your payment tonight, you get access to all of these bonuses. Excuse me. You get access to 20 short pronunciation videos. You get access to my vocabulary development PDF. You get access to how to never be at a loss for words. You get access to my ebook on Know Your Silent Words. You get access to my ebook on English punctuation marks. You get access to my ebook on 100 common grammatical errors and their corrections. And you get access to how to earn with your diction skill. Now, if you don't sign up immediately, you might be wondering if this will work for your specific situation. I guarantee you that this would work. This is, what do they call it? They say it's sure banker. Yes, that's what people say. They will say it's sure banker. I guarantee that this will work. If it doesn't work, after 6 weeks, I would refund your money. You can record this part. Excuse me. This is guaranteed. Or you are not sure if you can commit to the program. So some of you will feel, oh, I don't have the time. I might not be able to complete. I'm writing an exam. Now, the thing is, whatever you're doing right now, right? Whether you're writing an exam or not, you can enroll tonight and start at your convenient time. You know what that does for you? It helps you save money. Because after tonight, the fee goes back to 39,999 naira. That is 420 Ghana cedis. But if you enroll tonight, you will be paying just 20,999 naira. That is about 270 Ghana cedis. So, or you're a housewife or a teacher or a trader and you feel like, oh, I don't have time. I'm very busy. My husband, excuse me. My husband will say, if something is a priority, you would always have time. You cannot be busy 24 hours. And all you need out of 24 hours is just 5 minutes. And this 5 minutes can be any time during the day. It can be early in the morning. It can be later in the morning. Let's assume you're someone that goes to work. Maybe you leave your house by 5 a.m. You can learn on your way to work. All you need is your headset, right? And your phone. That's all you need. You can learn when you get to work. Let's assume you get to work by 8 a.m. You have done your morning duties and you have a break maybe by 10 to 11. All you need is 5 minutes. Instead of gisting with your colleagues, improve your life, improve your career, improve how much you earn. If you're a stay-at-home mom, you can learn when your children have gone to school. You can learn late at night. For some of you that have newborns, they hardly sleep at night. You can just learn at any time. All you need is 5 minutes at any time during the day. So it's not a matter of whether you can commit to it or not. And one good thing about the academy is even after 6 weeks, you still have access to it. I have got courses that they tell you after 1 year, you can access it. For example, earlier today, I bought a course on business structure last year. Earlier today, I needed to quickly check something on it. I realized I can't log in again. I made a call and I was made to know the course is just for a year. It has expired. If I want to access it again, I have to pay another money. So even when your phone gets missing, when anything happens to your device, or you're not just available to attend, you can always come back and say, hi, Diction Queen, I paid so time. Can I access the academy again? And yes, all you need is your email and your password. In fact, once you have your email and your password, you don't even need to tell us that you want to access it again because the academy is live 24/7. It's something you have lifetime access to. Or maybe you've tried other things before and they didn't work. This is me telling you that this will work for you. No matter how strong or how thick your accent is, no matter how bad you speak, I guarantee that you will get results. We've had people with worse situation in the academy and their testimonials have been satisfactory. So I myself, I'm not a naturally gifted speaker. I'm not someone with perfect genetics for speech, but I speak with great diction. And if I can do it, you can do it as well. Again, you have lifetime access to the e-learning platform where you can learn anytime during the day. You have access to 55 practical training sessions. You have access to daily assignments. This takes less than 5 minutes to do. You submit the assignment via voice note to our WhatsApp group where we listen and give feedback immediately. You get access to a private WhatsApp group, and you get unlimited support from me. The good thing about the Academy is I'm not the only diction instructor there. So you get to learn from different perspectives, different people. And the breakout session is one thing that people really love. If you enroll tonight with just 20,999 Naira or 270 Ghana cedis, you get access to 20 short pronunciation videos. You get access to vocabulary development PDF. You get access to how to never be at a loss for words training. You get access to our Know Your Selling Words ebook. You get access to an ebook on English punctuation marks. You get access to 100 common grammatical errors and correction. And of course, you get access to how to earn more with your diction skill. Again, this is the account details. If you're in Nigeria, pay into UBA account 20697250012 Olubukola R. Agbalaya. If you're in Ghana, pay into our MTN Momo account. You make your payment into Chukwu Ebuka Ipesinechi Godwin 054 0596 356 or to our Vodafone line 050 2328 878 on support Chidima. Send your payment proof to the group immediately. Once we get 10 people in Nigeria and 10 people in Ghana, the fee goes back to 39,999 Naira. That is 420 Ghana cedis. Marianne says, I have paid for the training. Thank you, Marianne. You will not regret it. Okoli also said, please help me check my payment. I missed my receipt from First Bank. Okay, would confirm all payment. If you have made your payment, please pay. Somebody said, please, ma'am, can I pay tomorrow? Because I can't pay through this account except I go to the bank. You can I recommend you maybe try POS because after tonight the fee goes back to 420 Ghana cedis, and that is 39,999 Naira. If you have other questions, please ask. If you have questions about the Academy or you have questions about what we have learned tonight, please ask. Now, if you want to speak to impress anybody, anytime, anywhere, I urge you to register right now. Take advantage of the 87% off, plus all the bonuses you would get, and the complete refund assurance. Remember, if after 6 weeks you don't get results, if you go through the Academy, and after 6 weeks you don't get the results, I would refund you. You just make sure you go through the Academy, you do what I ask you to do, and I guarantee you would get results. But if you don't get results after going through everything I ask you to do, I will refund you. I will send back the amount you have paid. So in 6 weeks, you would become a confident and eloquent speaker. Here are the bonuses again. 20 short pronunciation videos, my vocabulary PDF, how to never be at a loss for word training, Know Your Silent Words ebook, an ebook on English punctuation mark, 100 common grammatical errors and corrections, 10 common misused expressions and their corrections, and a video on how to earn more with your diction skill. Here are the account details again. For Nigeria, make your payment of 20,999 Naira to UBA 20697250016 Olubukola R. Agbalaya. If you are in Ghana, make a payment of 270 Ghana cedis to our MTN Momo line 0540 596 356 Chukwebuka Ipesinachi Godwin, or our Vodafone line 050 2328 878 on support Chidima. So do you have questions? If you have questions, please send in your question. Whether you're on YouTube or you're on Zoom, if you have questions, please send in your question. Once we get 10 payments, the fee goes back to 39,999 Naira. If you're in Ghana, after tonight, the fee goes back to 420 Ghana cedis. So if you have questions about the Academy or you have questions about what we have learned tonight, please send in your questions. Somebody said, how many hours is the lesson per day? Mondays to Fridays, the lesson takes less than 5 minutes. Mondays to Fridays, all you need is 5 minutes. On Saturdays and on Friday, that's when we meet by 8 p.m. on Zoom. And that is between 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Should you miss any of the classes on Fridays and on Saturdays, you get access to the replay. Okay, any other question? Any other question? If you have questions, please ask. I hope I have attended to your question, Oluwatoyin Afolabi. Any other question? I have sent the receipts to the WhatsApp group. Thank you. Okay, Okoli. All receipts will be attended to. Do we have any other question? Do we have any other question? If you have questions, please ask. Again, the academy runs for 6 weeks. You can learn at your convenient time, anytime that works for you, Mondays to Fridays. All you need is 5 minutes every day. You learn and practice. You submit your assignment to the assignment WhatsApp group. We listen to your assignment and we give feedback to each assignment. And on Saturdays, we meet at 8 p.m. where we practice together. We go for breakout session. We divide you into short groups where we practice together. And you practice with other people in the group, other diction instructors, other participants. And of course, after 6 weeks, you get your certificate after you have submitted your project. A certificate can be used anywhere in the world. Like we said, the course is being sold in 12 different countries in the world, not just African countries. So you can use a certificate anywhere in the world for promotions, for opportunities to boost your resume, etc. And once you're done in the academy, we add you to the alumni group, where you still keep learning once a month, so that you do not go to your default settings, so that you do not forget everything you've learned and go back to speaking anyhow. The academy comes with lifetime access. If anything happens to your device, all you need is your email and password. Should you change device, should you change location, all you need is your email and password. Do we have any more questions? If you have questions about what we've learned tonight, if you have questions about the academy, please ask. Any question? Okay, in the absence of question, I will have to take my leave again. The academy runs for 6 weeks. You learn at your convenient time, anytime that works for you, Mondays to Friday, late nights, early mornings, midnight, late afternoon, anytime at all. All you need is 5 minutes every day to learn and practice. Every day, you submit your assignment in the assignment book. We listen to your assignment and give feedback. We'll tell you what you have done well, what you didn't do well, what you need to do again, so that as you communicate with other people every day, you are using what we have taught you or the corrections, and you're doing better, right? Then on Fridays and on Saturdays, we meet on Zoom, where we allow you to talk. You don't just listen to me. I do more of the listening. You do more of the talking. You also have access to smaller groups where you mingle with other people from different parts of the world who wants to improve their communication as well. You practice together, you review together, you ask questions together, and you keep doing better. You do that for 6 weeks. Imagine doing the same thing over and over again for 6 weeks. That brings mastery, perfection. So if you're still available and you really know that the way people perceive you comes down to what you say. When people see you, the first thing they look at is how you dress. And the next thing is what comes out of your mouth. When you open your mouth, you want people to say, hey, hey, or you want people to be happy to want to listen to you. Make your payment again to Olubukola R. Agbalaya, UBA, 206-9725-016. All you have to pay tonight is 20,999 naira. After tonight, the fee goes back to 39,999 naira. If you're in Ghana, all you have to pay is 270 Ghana cedis. Pay to our MTN Momo 054 0596 356. Chukwe Buka Ifesinachi Godwin. Or to our Vodafone line 050 2328-878 on support Chidima. Again, if you pay tonight, you get access to all our bonuses. The bonuses are worth 2,000 naira. Plus, after 6 weeks, if you do not get results, after going through everything I asked you to go through, I will send your money back. So you have nothing to lose. It's like you keeping your money somewhere. And after 6 weeks,